Avoid these 8 types of food that witches and evil spirit uses to send poverty and stagnation into your life. Avoid these 8 types of food. They bring negative energy, poverty, and lack into your life. By God's grace, in today's video, I wish to share with you 8 types of food that you must, one way or the other, avoid or at least reduce to practicable, possibly minimum their consumption. When this year was actually starting, I made a particular video that the topic is, before you eat any food this particular year, watch this video first. Believe me, when purpose is not defined, abuse is inevitable. Most at times, we kind of, because of certain reasons attached to some food, we tend to eat it excessively, and beside that, we also the kind of tend to abuse certain food at one point in time in our life, despite the fact that when we are asked to do spiritual work with some of this food, people will find it difficult, they will condemn it. But unfortunately, some of the food are not even written in the Bible. Let's take, for instance, have you ever seen rice, yam written boldly in the Bible? But we eat it very, very, literally eat it voraciously. But when it comes to using it for spiritual work, we begin to question it. But by God's grace, Bible said in Jeremiah 33, call upon me, I will answer you and show you great and mighty things which you know not. I wish to expatiate today certain 8 food. You have to be very, very careful of how you are eating it, because it might actually be the reason why you are not progressing. If only you follow me to the end of today's video, I will share those 8 food and reason why you have to be very careful of it. But before then, please give this video a like so that YouTube algorithm will also shift it to other people that need it. As you do so, may God bless you. Welcome back to Jenny Action TV. In this particular channel, I discuss 3 important variables which actually have safety and spirituality. In this channel, we pray strategic prayers, we read the word of God in and out, we believe in balance. That is actually why we do spiritual work. So if this is the very first time you're finding yourself in this our beautiful family, you are highly welcome. Please kindly hit the red subscribe button and the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. For my returning subscribers, I love you so much. Thank you for always stopping by. So without wasting time, let's dive in. I tell you about this food, you have to be very careful of consumption. I wish to tell you a small kind of testimony that happened with food. It happened that when God called me into spirituality ministry newly, I noticed that each time that God wants to actually liberate somebody or help somebody one way or the other, he will make the path of me and that person to cross. So it happened that there is this particular woman that sells some grocery. Me, I am one person that I like eating boiled egg. So even if I did not eat boiled egg from my house, we didn't boil egg at a particular day, it will be difficult for a day to pass unless I am fasting. I will not eat boiled egg. So it happened that I'm passing a particular place, I stopped to buy boiled egg. Then along the line, I started discussing with the woman. I know the woman before, but nothing connects us closely. Then the woman started lamenting of how she has been passing through series of miscarriages, how she has been looking for a child, and so on and so forth, that she have gone to several places, including giving her herbal drugs. None of them worked. And then in the church, they will always give her a kind of prophecy that it is some of her neighbor, a particular neighbor that is a witch that has been attacking her with that miscarriage. I now told the woman 2 things. First, stop eating all this food. There are other people there, they were shocked. How can I say that? I say, madam, if you are looking for a child, if you don't want to continue having miscarriage, stop eating these 2 foods. Don't ever eat it again. And that was okra soup. She was like, this is my best food. I say, madam, I've finished speaking. You don't know who I am. I've told you. And then this a kind of goat head sauce they call ngwongwo. And then I now told her to get certain herbs, including fertility leaf, use it to birth, and pray that God will give her a child. I left. I never even crossed that part or see her again. Even if I cross, we never ever met or interact personally until 6 months later. I was passing there and I saw the woman heavily pregnant, and the woman complained that once the pregnancy getting 3 months, she will have that miscarriage. And looking at her pregnancy, you know that for it to be well noticeable, it has passed maybe 5 to 6 months. So I asked the woman, what happened? She was so excited. She said it didn't take time. After talking to her, she did all the things I told her to do, and that was how she became pregnant. And I said, what of those your neighbors that are witches that have been causing this miscarriage? Say, that it didn't take time. After I finished discussing with her, that was how they packed out. And she was so excited. It didn't take time again. I passed. She have given birth and was carrying her. And the child should be close to 2 years now. So what am I telling you, my dear? There is mystery in this world. Everything you see in this world is backed by spirit, and every action and inaction you take in this world is backed by spirit. And the same food stuff that do good, when you eat it to use it in a particular direction, can be used to do bad. Let me give you another instance of what happened. There's this woman that she had been having issue of moving objects all over her body, and then she doesn't have rest, and when it's moving she's feeling very hot. Do you know that after taking some herbs for that moving object to come out, do you actually know what came out of her body? A full bunch of alligator pepper, full fruit of alligator pepper. That is what somebody projected in her body that was disturbing this woman. That is to tell you that, do you know how powerful spiritually alligator pepper is? Despite that people can still use it to do negative and bad thing, witches can use it to manipulate your life. So on this premise, I present to you today 8 food that you must reduce its consumption, and if practicable, some of them you might stop it completely if you want to progress, if you want to cast away spirit of poverty, lack, and if you don't want to open your spiritual door for attack of witches and wizards. Number 1 is excessive consumption of salt. Salt might be very good. Salt, Jesus, God himself entered covenant with children of Israel with salt. But remember that Jesus is the one that said in Matthew 5 verse 13, you are the salt of the earth, but if salt loses its savor, it has become good for nothing. Excessive consumption of salt brings negative energy and poverty. How? You notice that when you are consuming salt in excess, 1, it causes fluid retention in your body. Fluid doesn't go out, and when there is fluid retention in your body, knowing fully well that your liver and kidney does a lot in metabolism and a kind of excreting excess waste from the body, your kidney, your liver is being affected, and that can lead to kidney problem, kidney failure. And you know how kind of money consuming and problematic this type of issues are. And again, it causes high blood pressure, and you know that high blood pressure to an extent can also lead to stroke, and then can also lead to cardiovascular diseases. And when such happens, you will notice that you begin to spend a lot of money, because it involves spending a lot of money to be able to stabilize your blood pressure. Though with the stem cells I sell, by God's grace, all these issues can be a kind of taken care of. But my dear, prevention is always better than cure. Likewise, eating uncooked salt. Avoid carrying salt you have not cooked on fire and put it in your food, because the food is undersalted. It's even better you eat undersalted food than oversalted food. So that is number 1. Number 2 is this: bitter foods like bitter leaf or bitter lemon. In as much as bitter leaf is so good for your health, in as much as bitter leaf tend to reduce sugar levels in the body, too much of it also bring negativity and poverty when it comes to spirituality, because one way or the other it sponsors bitterness. It sponsors spirit of a kind of bitterness into your life instead of sweetness. What actually attracts abundance spiritually is always sweetness. That is why, to a great extent, you will notice that when you use original honey, a kind of add it to your bed water, become a kind kind of a regular consumption of it, you will always attract abundance. In fact, you will notice that witches run away from you. When I made video about one way you must actually block witches attacks, I told you that from time to time always leak original honey, and as well as add original honey and salt to your bath water. But when it comes to bitter food, especially bitter lemon, bitter leaves, the bitter leaf that is even better is the one Igbos call otaze, the other type of bitter leaf that you can actually use to cook something like pepper soup. But you see, the bitter leaf, the one we normally use to cleanse, to a great extent, too much consumption of it, one way or the other, brings poverty and lack. Did I say don't consume it? No, you consume it, but there you don't have to consume it in excess. There is no law against moderation. Too much of everything is bad. Don't be because they say that they have a lot of health benefit. Yes, I will even attach a video where we notice now that our Westerners are now packaging bitter leaves and sending it as a supplement for us to be using. That's to tell you the level of health benefits of bitter leaf. But too much consumption of it spiritually actually brings poverty and negativity. So avoid it, because to a great extent you always be sponsoring bitterness into your life, and when your life is bitter, you will begin to manifest some negative vibes, and those negative vibes will store in your subconscious. Your subconscious will always bring it to your reality. Imagine you become angry for nothing. Imagine at any small provocation you start sparking with people, and then thereby reawaken certain spirits, and before you know it, those spirits will now be able to block your blessings, because the truth is that devil don't have power to even stop us or stop our blessings unless he have a fault or an accusation to lay against you. That was what gave him effrontery to be able to attack Job, because he was able to manufacture a kind of fault when he told God that he has built a hedge of protection around him, that is why he's serving. He remove it and see whether he's serving. By so he was able to convince God to remove that hedge of protection. That likewise, devil don't have power over you unless he has been able to conveniently get a fault that he will now be able to strike your protection, strike your health, and strike some part of your being, and then start working against you. That is number two. Number three is red beans. Red beans might be good, might be nutritious. There are many types of beans. You can actually be consuming those ones, but you see, red beans, it attracts poverty and bad luck. If I were you, I will reduce its consumption to practicable minimum, or at best stop consuming it. Depend on other types of beans, because thank God that God has given us different species that we can actually choose from, different varieties. So stay away from this, and believe me, your life will fare better. Number four is any unripe or rotten food. Like, because of what is happening now, especially in Nigeria, due to a great extent, and there is a kind of scarcity of food, hardship, and the high cost of food, we tend to eat certain food like rotten tomatoes in the name of, I also call it bage, Igbo call it awarawa. That's tomato that is no longer very fresh and strong. It's now leaking water. Sometimes you see ants and other things, a kind of passion on it. The rotten food spiritually attracts poverty and negative energy. Reason is this: spiritually you attract what you are, not what you want. Once you are buying those type, you are already sending signal spiritually that you are poor, and this is the only one I can afford, and therefore everything is a spirit. Simple. The spirit of poverty will follow you and make sure that you remain poor, because you have already distinguished and categorized yourself as poor people. And you notice that one of the things that attract us in buying it is because it is cheaper. But believe me, it attracts poverty to your life. Likewise, unripe food. You notice that sometimes when you want to buy certain food like pepper, now pepper is too expensive, especially those that are in Nigeria. We now tend to buy the unripe version, because unripe version will be more in quantity than the ripe one. And then to a great extent, you are rejoicing that you have actually bought something that is cheaper for you and more affordable, but spiritually you have opened the door of poverty and the negative energy, welcoming the spirit of lack. And what will happen is that your finances will begin to deplete. You will notice that you no longer sell as much as you do before. People no longer favor you as much as they favor you before. Most of the times, even your spiritual work to attract money and abundance and prosperity will no longer happen. I am taking time to explain this because we are about to enter 8th month, and 8th month is a month of abundance and prosperity. So you must remove all those bottleneck that is actually causing lack and poverty. Now, number 5 is okra. I am mentioning this okra once again. It's one of the things I told that woman to stop, and as soon as she stopped it, she successfully carried her pregnancy to a term, not having miscarriage again. And in the beginning of this year, I'll look for that video and attach. It was one of the foods that I say you should avoid eating it this year. My dear, there are many soup you can make. If possible, completely stop eating okra. Reason is this: okra is associated with poverty, it's associated with hardship, it's associated with negative energy. It is called spiritually a cursed food because it is believed that it brings bad luck and misfortune. That the same way is rape, it is rapely because everything is energy, everything is vibration. The same way it is rapely, that is how it slip away your blessings. To a great extent, they have a trapping energy that makes sure that you're always operating in stagnation, and they have negative patterns in life, failure, disappointment, failure at the age of breakthrough, because anything that tends to come to you slip away. But for pregnant woman, the only time it is good that you can get one or two spiritual benefit from it is when the time given to a pregnant woman to deliver has reached, and the woman has not been able to put to bed and is having some challenges. Then you can actually get okra, raw okra. I especially remove all the seeds and put it inside cup, pour it water, let the person begin to drink. By God's grace, if that person begin to consume it, especially even dried version of it, for the next 7 days, morning and night, the person will deliver. That rippling nature of it will help the baby come out, because that is one of its spiritual aura. I used to tell you that most of spiritual powers of certain food or certain items is not far different from the physical. If not, any other time, my dear, if I were you, I would stay away from okra because it have a lot of negative vibes associated with it. But if you are a lover of okra, I will not tell you not to eat what you like. You must one eat it in moderation, because excessive consumption of it will amplify and perceive all this negative energy, and then you have to pair it with other food to counterbalance that negative vibes. Like you can make okra soup, combine it with melon, and then make sure that there is enough spices and other herbs. Like at least we know that we always add something like a kind of a pumpkin and so on and so forth. By so doing, you reduce its negative vibes. But you see some people, yes, because they sing, it is good to always eat it to maintain your voice. The great extent it attracts poverty, but just know that those people, some of them also have some other things backing them up that help them. So but naturally, my dear, if I were you, I will stop eating okra soup. Yes, it's God that created it. Everything He created is good, but all things are lawful and not all things are expedient. There is a lot of mystery in this world that if you know it, it will help you a lot. Another one we called garden egg, eggplant. Yes, garden egg is fruit, is very good. It is better you are eating the leaves. The leaves is very good for kidney patient and other a kind of food. But you see the fruit itself, it is called wish food. It's associated with lots and lots of negative energy and evil power. If you are a lover of it, my dear, reduce. You can eat as that's once a week is enough for you. Don't make it a constant food. Instead, eat the leaves, but stay away from the reduce the consumption of the fruit. Then the next one is alligator pepper. It is also known as grains of paradise because it possesses a lot of spiritual powers. And when you use it for rituals, it brings a lot of open door. Likewise, can also cause negativity because I've just told you the story of somebody. It was what they projected, and this woman is suffering until it came out of her body. But excessive consumption of it also bring negative consequences because everything that have good parts have a kind of good side. That is why even when I'm trying to encourage you to consume it for any reason, I will never give you more than 7 seed a day. Don't go and carry one bunch of alligator paper and eat because, or you eat it morning and night or morning, afternoon, and night. No, 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 no. If you have some medical challenge, like in Jenny's Global Solution, I made video about health benefit of alligator pepper. You can take just 7 a day. It's enough. Don't go and take it more than that. And that is why most of my videos, even in this channel, is I advocate more on using it to do spiritual works, like you chew and spit out, not chew and swallow, except if you have some evil arrow sickness. You are sure that this one is evil arrow, which is part of what I'm going to be teaching in the academy in this session, how you can actually use alligator pepper to discover if a sickness is witchcraft manipulated, diabolical, or normal. And then, except you have discovered it, then you might actually need to eat alligator pepper and use your early morning urine to swallow it, nearby neutralizing that sickness completely. And when the sickness has gone, you don't need to continue, but too much of it, it is not best for you. Then there's the type of beans we call cowpea. This is the second beans I'm mentioning, red beans and cowpea. It's associated with poverty and negative energy, and it's even historically connected to slavery and hardship. My dear, if it is possible, stay away from cowpea, stay away from red beans. The manifold wisdom of God associated with beans is that there are numerous species of beans. You can actually, if you're a lover of beans, especially if you're not blood group B, because I've made video also that certain blood group are not good to consume protein, and especially in excess, that is blood group B, it will always cause them to come down with a kidney problem and all that. If I remember, I'll pin those videos here. Then if you are maybe blood group O and other blood groups that it is very good for you to be consuming beans, it will be best of your best interest if you stay away from this two beans, that is cowpea and red beans, and believe me, you prosper as never before. The last but not the least is Bacola. Bacola might be very, very good and have a lot of antioxidants, and then to a great extent, it attracts a lot of positive vibes when you use it for spiritual work. But excessive consumption of it will also attract negative energy because too much of everything is bad. For like I've made video in the past that one of the nights you must ensure that you pray midnight prayers, like in Jenny's Global Solutions. Now I made 2 videos about why you wake up in the midnight and why you have to pray midnight prayer, because it's very, very important, because midnight is when spiritual powers to a great extent increase the activities, and when you can control them to a great extent, no power will be able to stop you from achieving your potentials. And then in one of videos, likely videos I made even on this particular Jenny Action TV, in this particular channel, you notice that I encourage you that on the first day of the week, being Sunday night, after you do a kind of spiritual, you do midnight prayer, that it is best in the morning try to consume 2 Bacola, because it is going to increase your vibes and increase your energy and make you not to be weak for your day's work, knowing fully well that Monday is ruled by moon, and to a great extent there is that tendency of you feeling clumsy, reluctant to achieve much. You notice that I only emphasize that first day of the week, not continuously every day of the week, because there is no law against moderation. Yes, eating it will also attract a lot of positive vibes and destroy a lot of negative energy. Another a kind of time that I advocate it is, I told you whenever I made that video when I was talking about certain food that you must be careful of eating to avoid being initiated in witchcraft or being attacked or poisoned or charmed. Say that when you are going to burial and a kind of wedding and some other public gathering, and you know that you will certainly like to eat food there, that is good to eat Bacola in order to first of all quench any evil food or attack that anybody will give to you. But if you notice that this is just an interval, it's not something that happen every day, making it a point of duty that on daily basis you must eat bitter cola. My dear, it is not the best for you. Twice a week is enough. Maybe just a Monday morning and Wednesday morning is enough, but not on daily basis, because believe me, it is going to attract negative energy, and too much of everything is bad. It might cause other health issues. So with this viewpoint of mine, I believe that I've been able to convince you and not to confuse you that this ate food is best eaten at a very low quantity or completely avoided if you want to be rich and attract abundance to a greater dimension. God bless you. And watch out for the special video about new month recipe you will do to attract abundance and prosperity to you in the month of August. And I also wish to remind you that payment and joining of our Awakening Minds Spirituality Global Academy is ongoing. Don't allow yourself to be left behind. Somebody chatted me recently to a kind of complaint that she would have joined the last batch, but unfortunately she couldn't. And she was like, maybe I should reduce so that she will pay the same amount it was last time. Told her that spiritual things are non-negotiable, and that is the truth. And I also reminded her that that was 3 months ago you're talking about. Go and check the prices of things. Nothing is so the same price that it was 3 months ago. And then this month, if you check the community, you see numerous testimonies which have not even finished posting. So it's in your best interest, don't allow that to be your story. Join now that there is time. Make hay now while it is time, because believe me, what you will learn from it will blow your mind, and your life will never be the same again. Above all, it's the best legacy you can actually drop for your unborn and born generation. So if you have not subscribed to be part of this awesome family as a choosing and special person, please kindly hit that red subscribe button and the bell notification so as to always get my next upload. Comment on this video, share it widely to everyone. My share be helping a lot of people. As to do so, may God bless you. So with this I say, enjoy your day.
The popular African bitter leaf is now available in capsules, produced by an American company called Nature Herbal Life. For thousands of years, Africans have used leaf to cure and prevent many diseases.
According to a study by the University of Texas, bitter leaf can prevent cancer, prevent and reverse diabetes, prevents arthritis, and prevent high blood pressure. It also can be used as a weight control supplement. According to the February 2008 Journal of the Vascular Health and Risk Management, bitter leaf can reduce bad cholesterol and prevent a heart attack. Visit www.natureherbalife.com or call 1-888-795-1119.